Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. Today is Friday. We are in March Madness now. So I'll tell you which freshman I am drooling over. Also, we'll check in to see how our picks are doing, how the bracket's doing, and what teams later today are on upset alert.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Welcome back, sinners. This is Season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. Friday. Time for UCLA here soon, T.I. I'm getting excited. But we got a lot to get into first. So, March Madness, we are locked in, as all these warm-up jerseys say, lock in, and kind of like that. So, all right, let's get right into it, man.
Go. Let's do it.
We made the meme.
Unlike Ohio State, we are ready to do it.
Yeah. So that was the Bitcoin, right? The South Park Bitcoin. Like
not the Bitcoin. Not the Bitcoin.
And it's all gone. I thought that's what it was.
Oh no, it's the timeshare. It's the timeshare episode is where that meme's from.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's the best. It is the best. Yeah, it's one of the absolute best episodes ever. They're like, they get them out there to the ski. They're gonna let them ski and stuff, and they're like, but they talk to you about the timeshare, and they get in the ski lift, and the ski lift literally pulls them up and drops them like right back into the building to talk about the timeshare. Oh, it's the best. It's the best. Yeah, that's the one where like Stan's trying to like ski again. It's like the guy what's your problem, Darsh? It's like, I don't even know who you are. It's like, yeah, right. You gotta beat me in a ski contest. It's such a stupid episode, but it's hilarious. Anyway, we talked about South Park for 2 hours. We don't have enough time for that.
Right. So I made the meme. Ohio State has made the NCAA tournament, and they're out.
They're out.
They were the first, the very first game, and I did pick. I think you did too, right? TCU. We're not going to take bragging rights. It's 8 versus 9. We don't. You officially hear the rules of March Madness. You do not get bragging rights when a 9 beats an 8, at all, because that's literally not that big of a deal. But it was. I will say, if we're going to start the tournament out, that is the game to do it. To go 66-64, like that's a fun game. When TCU, like, here's what's crazy. It was 39-24 at halftime. So you kind of thought, like, you're in a group text with people and it's like, all right, I'm starting off good. I picked TCU. And then all of a sudden, Ohio State finally wakes up and starts to shoot the ball better and made it close. But I'm just glad TCU, they still choked. I'm with Jalen Rose. I'm glad that Ohio State loses. That it's fun watching the different, because you got True TV, TNT, TNT, TBS, True TV, and CBS. Say that 17 times fast. And so you got 4 channels. You got 4 different groups of people. You got Jalen Rose, Jamal Mashburn, Clark Kellogg, Barkley, all these guys. I think so far, I got to give them props. I think they're doing a good job. It's always weird having Charles Barkley, who's so into the NBA, and then all of a sudden, well, we need your personality for this. You can't find anyone else. I love Charles. I'm not saying maybe to not have him, but I will say it's odd that you have to pull a guy from his other job to just pull in for ratings. It's March Madness. You're going to get the ratings. Can't you get someone else? I love that they have Jalen Rose and Jamal Mashburn. I kind of enjoyed some of their takes. There isn't another guy like that. You can't bring in, I know Grant Hill's calling some games, but someone like a Grant Hill, or I'd even like to see what Christian Laettner has to say. If Austin Crozier is calling games, we can get someone who's famous in the March Madness, like Christian Laettner or something like that.
How about Bryant Reeves just so he could make the Sincast twice now in his career, because we had the one episode.
I'm in.
Bryant
Big
Reeves
country.
was a guest
Oklahoma
on the show.
State.
You
Oklahoma
can
State, right?
look it up. He's he's a Grizzly, famous Grizzly. Long list of terrible draft picks by the Grizzlies, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. But yeah, I feel you. I mean, I love Chuck. I'm an Auburn guy, so I love Chuck.
Yeah.
But I feel you. There's enough to go around. Past the collection
College
play around.
love.
There's enough mouths.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
But I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
But yeah, we had opened up with a bracket buster, except for the two geniuses that you see right here. Like I said, I like to base my picks on who would win in a fight between the mascots. And like I said, I think a horned frog would have ate a Buckeye for lunch.
A chocolate peanut butter Buckeye.
I am going to pick the horned frogs, and it worked out. See? Hashtag science. Hashtag
all right.
Science.
So then we have a team finally. Miles hit us up in the group chat and was like, I don't think I knew that. Maybe I did and I forgot. But they are the last team. If I'm wrong, I'm literally blaming Miles. Nebraska is the final team from a power conference to win a tournament game. Every other school from a power, it could be Mississippi State to Arizona State to whoever, Tennessee. Every team ever has at least won one game. And now Nebraska can say, yep, every single team has won. It's only taking 119 years. But
Little Red took it to him.
Basketball school.
Well, they're damn sure not a football school. Damn sure not a football school these days.
So
they
outscored them pretty crazy.
Their mascot's named Little Red. Little Red is their name of their mascot.
Nebraska, the Cornhusker. All right.
Yeah, Little Red. It's kind of a stupid looking mascot, but hey, what would you expect from Nebraska?
Yeah. So that was good to see. I guess I kind of want to see what the Big Ten does here. They have a lot of strong schools in the tournament. And so it got off to a shaky start. Ohio State loses, Nebraska. We'll skip over Louisville, South Florida. I did actually have South Florida. They only lost by 4.
What?
I did lose that game.
What? You went against your own self on this episode. We both said Louisville would get it on the last episode, and you went against your own intuition.
In my bracket, I think I did go.
Can't bet against the Cards. Can't bet against the Cards in the March Madness. Man, they'll get it together.
And Pinion from South Florida had 27, 7, and 6, and 4 steals. Like, good Lord, that dude.
Pretty good.
Now, speaking of pretty good, can we make fun of Wisconsin a little bit? Because
yeah, of course we can.
I get that High Point coach. Did you see he was beating his chest and no one will play us? Well, we played someone. We finally played someone. We can't say we haven't played someone. That team's a pretty good school over there. They beat 5 top 10 teams. He's talking about Wisconsin. Like, he just went off in his presser. Good for you, sir. Beat that chest. Like, you're in March, man. Go ahead, High Point. That's the high point of their careers.
Live that high.
I'm not mad.
He's living on a high.
Mad. Yep.
He's living on a high.
That was a great game.
Yeah,
great game.
I made a little pun last episode about how this was the highest point they were going to reach, but I was wrong. They knocked off Big Ten. Big Ten's licking their wounds early in this tournament. But luckily, they had Michigan State and Michigan to pull them out of that hole. So, which both of those teams look great. So it'll be interesting to see how far they go. But, it's neither here nor there. We'll
probably was their high point of their life, but maybe it keeps going. One thing we got to talk about is this dude. So they talked about it before everything got rolling. I happened to see it. That this dude, first of all, he wears number 99. I don't understand what that is about. And second, he has only made 1-pointers, as you know, T.I calls those free throws, and 3-pointers. That's what I shoot.
And I call those 3 free throws.
So he has not made a single 2-point basket. And at the end of the game, he leaks out and gets a layup that ends up being the game-winning shot from just sagging back on defense. I don't know what the hell he was doing out there. Gets the layup, and that's the only 2-point made basket of the season. You cannot, we're pretty stupid, but if we wrote a college basketball story for a kid, all right, let's have him go to Low Point. No, I think it'll be more funny if we call it High Point. All right, High Point. That's the name of the college. Is that even real? No, we're just making it up. All right, so we got the kid, we got the college. Here's what's going to happen. Now, what number should he wear? 69. No, not 69. But I like where you're going.
420. 420. Can you wear 420?
Yeah. Yeah, what, 000?
Guess you can't wear that.
Yeah. Well, I like the 9. I like what you were going for. What if we what if we give him 2 9s? You're telling me a basketball player would be number 99?
Who would play this guy in our movie? I'm thinking Channing Tatum, maybe. He'd be a good pick, Be a good pick.
So we got Channing Tatum. He's going to wear number 99. And then we're going to say, so the 3-point line has only been around for about 40 to 50 years. That's it. I mean, America turns, 250 this year. So 3-point line's not that old. So let's have a guy who only shoots those. Well, but there's a big court. It's big. That area inside the paint and inside the 3-point line, that's pretty big space. You can navigate 10 bodies in there. No. We're not going to have him shoot over there. We're not going to have him make a single basket. Okay, this script is very difficult. I don't think it's believable. We better toss this movie idea away. We can't even get Channing Tatum to take our calls, T.I. This movie isn't going to work. No one's going to believe it. Oh, hold on. You're telling me this actually happened. What are we doing? That is unreal. That the guy's first 2-point field goal is a game winner in March Madness. You cannot make that up because people would laugh you out of the room.
You know who could have used
High Point?
Could have used a guy like that? The North Carolina Tar Heels could have used a guy like that.
We will get into that. And I saw the presser, and it's funny. So, all right, let's keep going. The next game that intrigued the crap out of us was Siena, and for 29 minutes, all the Dukies, baby, they were
dandies, dipsy doos,
Dunkaroo. Yeah, they were pooping in their pantalones.
They were pooping in their diaper dandies.
Because, dude, for a second, that second half, they were chipping away. And here's what happened. So, I don't know if you know this, but I know a lot about basketball. And when you move to a zone and to a team that, just doesn't see it, all of a sudden they just fumbled the game away. And so I guess you give credit to John Shire, but come on, dude. You needed to switch to a zone in order to beat Siena? Why don't you just be better than them?
Bro.
Every other game you played. You're 30-2 or whatever it is.
I until today I thought Siena was just a crayon, man. Didn't know it was an actual team. Speaking of crayon, Duke looked like they were eating crayons out there instead of playing basketball. But, just like the Dukies that got it together, can you imagine, though, if Duke and North Carolina lost in the first round? Oh, what a day. What a day it would be in the ACC.
Yeah.
But,
wow.
Duke avoided the major upset. Bracket did not bust for folks, at least for a lot of folks, because I'm sure there are plenty of brackets that have Duke going to the Final Four, maybe even winning it. I don't know. I don't have them winning it. I have Arizona winning it, but we'll see.
I do too.
I
got Arizona as well.
Look at that.
Duke, how about Duke giving up 43 points in the first half to Siena? That's on pace for 86 points. That's my math. And then they only give up 22 in the second half. I mean, they put the clamps on, and that's what I'm watching for Duke the rest of the way to see how interested are they. They just looked like they weren't interested. Now, I will say,
Well, they are very
they had
interested
poise.
now. They're
Yeah,
very interested
well,
now.
and their
They're not going to let that
poise.
happen.
Their poise is what really I thought stood out to me. Of like, you couldn't tell that they were down double digits ever. They just kept at it, and they're led by freshmen. Like, this is the whole theme of the tournament, because we're going to talk about BYU soon. Good Lord, these freshmen, no wonder these NBA teams are tanking. I'll sign up to tank. After watching these freshmen, yeah, Warriors, start tanking. Steve Kerr just said last night, yeah, we're a play-in team. No, Steve, just lose. Let Steph rest, lose. We want a lottery ball. Oh my God, there's 15 freshmen to choose from. It's unbelievable. I'm trying to not be like of the moment, but I don't know, man, if we've seen this many freshmen. Like, there's Carmelo, there's Kevin Durant, there's like these guys, right? But not all in 1 year at the same time. Like, it's just
Hey, man, NIL
crazy,
money
dude.
brings out the best of the best.
I guess.
You know?
Like, these dudes just went to prom last year at this time.
I mean,
Wild.
there's lots of them. That kid from Arkansas is a baller.
Yeah, dude, there's a ton. So one of them is Tyler Tanner. Dropped 26, 7, and 5. Had a steal as well. Vanderbilt moves on.
Not to be confused with
kind of a
Danny
ho-hum.
Tanner, though. Not to be
No,
confused with Danny Tanner.
who vacuums the vacuum. This guy
Yeah,
probably doesn't vacuum his vacuum.
Danny Tanner had a full house. Tyler Tanner had a full box score.
If I was gonna say a full stat sheet, yeah, that's good. I like our idiot brains were aligned.
But yeah, Vandy moves on. Shout out to Vandy. They're handling their business.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
And then John Calipari. They made this thing with Hawaii, and I get it, because you don't think of the Rainbow Warriors as, first of all, as any kind of warriors as athletically. You don't think of Hawaii, but they're 24-8. I mean, hey, good season, but they did not have the energy. We talked about Arkansas and the ability to score, and
they are on a tear, man.
They dropped 97. I mean, they scored 54 in the first half.
I mean, they are running. They're hot right at the right time. They ran through the SEC tournament, and nobody even really thought they had a chance. It was like, oh, it's Florida, oh, it's Vandy, oh, it's whatever, and then Arkansas just takes the title.
Kentucky, yeah,
and they're just. I mean, John Calipari's the guy's been there before. He knows how to do it. Love him or hate him, he's one of those top 10 all-time coaches. He's just lost some games he should have won in Kentucky and Memphis. Doesn't mean he's a bad coach. He's not the one putting the ball through the hoop. So,
yeah,
I mean,
that's how it goes.
I mean, he'd have another. I mean, Memphis should have a national championship. They just couldn't hit free throws that time. Which is crazy to think about.
Derrick Rose?
Yeah, they missed like
and
I don't know, like
Mario
13
Chalmers.
or 14 free throws. Yeah, and all they needed
and
were
Mario
like
Chalmers hit the shot. Yeah,
2. All they needed were like 2 free throws. They missed like 12 or something.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
But yeah, Arkansas looks good. I picked them to go pretty far in my bracket, so we'll see.
Same. Let's talk about Tom Izzo in March. What are your thoughts on Tom Izzo in March?
T to the O-M, I to the Izzo. For cheesy, the easy.
Okay. Interesting thoughts.
He's a goat, man. He's one of the goats. He will always him. Yeah, he will always get it done. Although there is that one year that MTSU knocked him out in the first round, lit their asses up, lit their Sparty asses up. But hey, MTSU is at home. MTSU's at home. They are not in the tournament. They're not even in the not invited tournament. So I don't get to brag. But yeah,
not too much.
Michigan State looks good. I've got them picked to go pretty far as well. I'll never bet against Tom Izzo in a tournament that matters.
Yeah, pretty safe bet. Now, here is what North Carolina, after the game, So I did watch a lot of this game, and especially the final 2 minutes and then overtime. And the reason I picked VCU is the Martelli family. So this is his son, and Martelli is uh, just an old head. And these old heads that have sons like Patino or whatever, that have sons that now coach, it's like, yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on those programs. And VCU is one of those. And then Carolina missing, they just, it's really hard to not have a full strength team limping into the tournament, and then you run into a well coached program in VCU. Like, that had upset written all over it. And so I definitely had that. But it was a good basketball game. But it was a little bit laughable that the way that it ended, North Carolina's at the free throw line. The dude misses the first free throw. Terrible. You got to make that. But now he's got to miss the second one. He throws it as hard as he can just off the backboard. If you know anything about basketball, when you shoot a free throw, it has to hit the rim. A backboard hit is the same as an air ball or the same as a dead ball. It's over. So he throws it as, like, what attempt was that? It didn't look like he was attempting to hit the rim. The commentator even said, I don't know if he knows the rule. Now, I think he knew the rule. Either he didn't know, and that's very terrible, or he did know, and the shot was that far off. That's your big plan. It was just hilarious. And then Hubert Davis says, well, the reason they lost is sometimes the ball doesn't go in.
That's right,
What?
Hubert.
That's
That's
your
right,
big,
Hubert.
like, where'd you go to school?
You know where he
Thanks for
went.
playing, Carolina.
He went to
Um,
UNC, so he enjoyed that loss.
yeah. So Carolina is out. Number 11, VCU knocks them out. That's why we love March Madness. 11 versus 6 isn't like crazy, crazy far fetched, but, you know,
It is when it's
most
North
people,
Carolina.
very fair. But again, if Carolina was at full strength, there's no way I'm picking, you know, that game wouldn't have even sniffed overtime. But
Yeah,
that's, I mean, hey, you gotta play, you gotta do your thing.
man.
So
Overtime in March Madness is heart pumping, man. I can't imagine being a team like North Carolina, knowing you just let a team take you to overtime. At that point, you're like, this is not going to end well for us.
right.
You got to put
So
those teams away. You got to put those teams away. Look at Duke.
speaking,
Duke very well could have been joining in, but Duke got it together in the end. North Carolina did
they
not.
put them away. So speaking of loving March Madness and keeping it close, do you know what the halftime score was for Howard, number 16, against Michigan? Do you know what the score was at halftime?
Oh, I don't know exactly because I was watching. I caught like the score, I think, like before halftime, and then caught it like later. But I think it was something like 50-21 or something ridiculous. I saw it was a blowout.
So it was a blowout much later than what you remember.
Oh,
Halftime
okay.
score was 50-46, dude.
Oh, okay. I remember
So
a 50.
that's a little
Remember a 50.
nerve-wracking.
I remember a
That's
50.
a little nerve-wracking. And then Michigan drops more points in the second half, 51. So they scored 101, but they only gave up 34. So it ended up being a
Yeah.
20-plus blowout. But it was a little nerve-wracking in the first half, though. The biggest lead of the game was 31 points for Michigan. But man, I mean, for halftime to be a 4-point game, can you imagine going into the locker room being Howard and thinking like, guys, we could be one of those 16 seeds, you know? I mean, Duke was down 11 at half. Duke was down 11 and they came back. But for Michigan to only be up 4 at half is almost like, if you're a Michigan fan, you might as well have been down by 7. Like, at that point, to be only up 4, that
Yeah.
shouldn't happen. So that was kind of crazy. So we'll see how the 1 seeds do later today. But The other game, I was talking to Miles on the group chat. He didn't think St. Mary's was gonna do much. They just simply weren't that good. And we talked about St. Mary's every 10 years or so, maybe having a good team. Well, it wasn't this year. Texas A&M, I think I had that.
Well, we on
in
the
my
last
bracket, at least.
episode, I had it in a bracket, but on the show we said it as well. I said,
Yeah.
Texas A&M, they always really find a way to make it through a couple rounds when nobody thinks they will. So
Yeah. St. Mary's, I don't have faith in just that area. We talked about Gonzaga and St. Mary's. We'll get into Gonzaga later. The Gonzaga game was one of the only kind of decent games late, the late night games. So then here is the segment where we talk about BYU for 20 minutes because of one freaking player. Dude, this guy, did you see the halftime interview with so the Sean Miller coached at Arizona for a while and now he's at Texas. You forget that. But that's pretty good coach over there. So they interview him at halftime. Did you see what he said?
Mm-mm.
So they ask him, "What are you going to do about Debansa?" And he said, "Oh, you can't do anything." And he's saying it just like I am. He's not he's a tough kid. We got to wall up on the defense. We got to cut baseline off. We got to stay in front. If I need to help out, we'll bring, that sounded pretty much coach talk, right? So no, he's like, "Oh, no, we can't really do anything." And the interviewer's like, "Back to you, John." He doesn't know what to do. It's so crazy. And then they do hold on and win. And then he talks about that interview. He said, "Look, I don't want to make it sound like we were just going to give up buckets, but what I was saying is I couldn't foul my team out. I couldn't let him foul my team out. And if he's going to go off for that many points, we couldn't let his teammates go off." So he backtracked a little bit at the end. When you win, you can do that. But I just thought that was funny for a coach to be like, "Oh, yeah, nothing. Coach, Joe Montana threw for 4 touchdowns in the first half. What are you going to do?" "Oh, nothing. I think he'll go for 9 in the second half." What? What? That was just funny to see. But that dude.
Good for him.
AJ.
Good for him. Going to find himself a lottery pick.
AJ Debansa, dude. So 35-10. So he is now I kind of remember seeing Kevin Durant at Texas for that year when he's 6'9", 6'10", and you don't realize it because, and obviously Kevin Durant was more skinny than this kid, but honestly, Kevin Durant may still be skinnier than this dude, but
his foot is
he's just a guard. He's a 6'10" guard, which makes no sense. Chet Holmgren, Wemby, they can move, but when they're on the court, they don't necessarily, even though they can dribble between their legs and they can shake a little bit and whatever, they at the end of the day, they still don't look like a guard. They show how tall they are. This guy, when he's driving and stuff and he pulls up for a jumper, you think he's 6'3", 6'4", and he's not. And it's just, I can't wait to see what this guy does. Everything he does shouts NBA, pro moves, NBA moves. It's just my God. So we'll see what happens when he gets drafted. I don't know how BYU found a way to lose 11 games with that guy on the team. I don't know how that even happened, but good Lord, that kid.
Utah Jazz are all over that guy. They're like, "Oh, our Mormon fan base will love him."
Dude, that's why they get caught literally tanking. They got caught red-handed. I mean, sheesh. Yeah. So, oh, man. I mean, that kid, I'm salivating over that kid. If I can't imagine having a guy like that.
Do you need to change your pants, Adam? Because you seem to be very excited.
I just need to adjust.
I very excited.
Just need to
adjust. Is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just watching BYU basketball?
Oh, the banana in a tailpipe thingy, huh? The Eddie Murphy. I love when Eddie Murphy changes his voice to sound white. We're not gonna fall for the banana of the tailpipe. So good.
Eddie Murphy, the only man that could do like 3 Clumps movies and still have a career, you know?
Right. So yes, BYU. That was a good game. That Texas kind of pulled it out, some free throws at the end and stuff, but that was a pretty good basketball game.
I picked Texas in that one. Who did you pick?
I thought maybe I had BYU.
That's all right. You got the VCU upset, so you know you're still riding high.
Yeah. No, I'm doing pretty well overall in my bracket. So we have the night games to go now, and they really
like blowouts, except for one.
Yeah, they weren't that good, and then even Gonzaga at the end, like there was no real time where you were like really nervous for Gonzaga. So let's get into those. I want to shift to Friday, today's games. So starting with Santa Clara and Kentucky, every once in a while, Santa Clara, and I say once in a while, every 27 years roughly is when Santa Clara is good. So I think I still have Kentucky. I'm not a Kentucky fan.
Yeah,
I grew up near Santa Clara, but I just think Kentucky probably can get it done.
Yeah, Santa Clara, not to be confused with Santa Claus for all our kids out there watching. Santa Clara,
there's Santa Claus, Indiana,
and not they're right, and not Aunt Clara, Santa Clara. But yeah, you got to go Kentucky. Although, I mean, Kentucky is not anything to write home about by any means. But I got to go Kentucky with this one.
Yeah. There's a couple 8-9 matchups that I want to ask you about. So we have number 8 Clemson against number 9 Iowa, and we have number 8 Villanova versus number 9 Utah State. So I think the sexier matchup is Clemson and Iowa. But what do you think?
Yeah, I picked in my bracket Iowa in this matchup. I'm pretty sure I did. I would pull it up on my phone right now, but I can't see with the sunglasses on. No sense in wasting everybody's time. 3 hours later, yeah, I picked Iowa. Yeah. I picked Iowa, and I think I picked Nova. Actually, no, hold on. Yeah, I picked Nova. I didn't pick them to go far though.
Chevy Nova.
Pick Nova to go far. Bossa Nova.
Yeah, I have Nova. Yeah, there's. But
yeah, you're right. Iowa Clemson is Iowa Clemson's a better matchup for sure. Although, it has one of those, it could be like a back and forth, or it could just be like a defensive, showdown by Iowa where Clemson struggles a little bit. I mean, I don't know. Iowa seems like they always got some big boys and they always slow down the pace. But I haven't watched them play this year, so I don't know. I mean, they may be a little more fast break, but it seems like the Iowas of the past were always slow and fundamental. And sometimes not so much fun, but fundamental. So,
Alabama Hofstra. Now, Alabama, they got to stop losing players to jail.
True.
I don't know.
And they got to stop losing students in other countries too, because that's all they have, a missing student. And who went over to visit his friends and never came home from the club. So hope for his parents' sake that they find him. But just another reason why I like to stay put in America. There's enough problems in America, so I don't need to go to other countries and experience their problems.
So, but yeah, Alabama,
right. Alabama, he's got weed everywhere, anywhere you want it. He had it everywhere.
Dude,
dorm, his backpack, his car. Probably his locker, probably in a McDonald's bag.
In his shorts,
probably in his ears. He's like, what's this? Oh, pulling out of his ears. It's like a magic trick instead of
I
a
would say a
quarter.
magician doing that then. Yeah.
Magician pulls a butt out. But yeah, man, Alabama. I still got Alabama in this game, of course. I mean, I think they'll score 420 points.
So, did you know that they lead the country in scoring at 91 points per game?
I did know that.
Alabama Crimson Tide.
I clicked on the eye icon on my bracket so I could compare, and I saw that. I like to.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Again, for all you kiddies out there that are choosing your brackets, it's very important to look at the points allowed versus points scored, and it's very important to look at top 10, top 25 matchups if you're choosing your brackets. Sure, you can go by colors, you can go by mascots, but if you want to get it right, you need to compare some statistics.
At least try.
At least try.
That I don't think. Here, I'm going to name some games that I don't think have a chance to be an upset and see what you think. So, I will say UConn and Furman. Feeling pretty confident with UConn. Florida, Prairie View. Prairie View is an all-girls school, so I don't know even how they have a chance. Purdue versus Queens University. We're just making up things. That's fine, I guess.
No.
And then we have Iowa State. I think they're really good this year against Tennessee State. So down the street from you, maybe. But
I think
Iowa State, man.
I didn't pick Tennessee State. I picked Iowa State.
I don't think 27-7. Iowa State's really good. Virginia and Wright State. Virginia is the 3 seed. I have Virginia going to the Sweet 16, I think,
If anybody out there picked Wright State, then you are in the wrong state.
There you go. Of mind. You're in the wrong state of mind. Arizona, okay, we obviously have them winning
Arizona
the national championship. So
that way.
And then I have Texas Tech should get by Akron. But
absolutely.
Akron,
they should zip by Akron.
Oh, I see what you did. But that could be that's my matchup where I'm like, I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, shocked. Because Akron supposedly is supposed to be really, really good. So we'll see. Texas Tech, of course, has better they play a tougher schedule, but they do have 10 losses. I mean, so I don't know. But at the end of the day, probably Texas Tech. But that's the game that I'm interested in. And it's one of the early ones. It's one of the nooner games. So a couple hours here. I'll be locked in. And then my Bruins play UCF. I'm nervous. I'm always nervous. The Bruins are 23-11. We're not very good. 6-4 in our last 10 games.
I think you'll win at least the first round.
Yeah, and that's where I have them too. I don't have them going too far. But yeah, let's talk about the games that just ended last night. Not one of them was good. And the reason I'll even say that with Gonzaga is like they never at one point did their butts clench, because I was watching their shorts. I was like really sizing it up, and I could just see
you were watching the shorts and sizing it up. Man, you're all over that BYU kid. Ooh.
Even though the score
I think this episode got a little PG-13.
Yeah. Attaboy. Even though the score was only 9 points or whatever, 73-64 was the final, whereas all the other games in the evening are not even worth mentioning. It was like 100-30. I mean, it was just terrible. But Gonzaga was the best game out of all of them, but they just never seemed like they were gonna lose. They just didn't. It's Gonzaga. And shout out to Kennesaw State, man. Cool area and good job to get that close, but they never did have a chance.
Kennesaw State. Kennesaw, not to be confused. Well, maybe it is a tribe of Indians. Maybe they are Kennesaw Indians. I don't know. It sounds like it. We'll have to look it up. If Miles was here, he would tell us.
We don't look up stuff on Sports Idiot Nation. We just talk
At
as
all.
fact.
Yeah, that ruins all of the fun if we look up facts.
Yeah. Like, I'm not here to tell you facts that Wemby won the game last night for the Spurs or that Luka dropped 60. I'm just making that up. I don't even know if it happened.
Yeah,
like, those could be facts.
Win is a win. Abraham Lincoln said that, or at least that's what the internet told me. So,
yeah, those memes of like, don't believe everything you read. It says Abraham Lincoln from like Facebook or like whatever. Like, so great. All right, we got to talk about these Wednesday episodes a little bit too before we get out of here, because super excited to talk more. We're gonna have a special guest we haven't seen for a while next week, so lock in with Film Idiot Nation as well. What we're doing is we're breaking down movies and just going through the brackets, just like Kennesaw State and just like Ohio State. We're gonna find out who gets out of here. That's super fun. So remember, we come to you every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but the Wednesday episodes, we're kind of taking a break from all things basketball, all things the round ball, and talking movies and some good battles going on in some of these movies. So make sure you check it out. We'll find out. I have no idea who's going to be number one.
Almost like one battle after another. You know,
pretty much.
For us sinners, for us sinners,
yep,
one battle
like
after
March
another.
Madness.
For us sinners, that's right. Two of the most awarded movies at the Academy Awards. We just tied into this episode. You are welcome, viewers. We worked hard on that for about 15 seconds.
Yep, it's a good pull. Follow us wherever you get your social media. Remember also to follow Film Idiot Nation. We're going through the March Movie Madness. New episodes of Sports Idiot Nation come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which means we will see you Monday. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, we are on all social media and on YouTube, and the podcast can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Remember, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, because you watch Sports Idiot Nation,
you would be the smartest idiot in the whole world.